I sat out in the lobby, so I know all the people who came out during the breast scene were like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So, was it more twisted or less twisted than everybody thought? Okay. Good. So we have 2 microphones here. So, yeah, sorry, I should introduce everybody first. We have the whole cast and crew that's here. Please come to the front of the room. Attention Walmart shoppers, if I can have the cast and crew of the movie to the front of the room. Hold on, they're all coming up. They're all coming up. Are we missing a few people or do we have everyone? Charlie? Ivana and Tegan to the front of the room, please. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Down that way. This guy's awesome. Okay. Okay, so just a quick introduction for everybody. Mike, if you want to pass the mic down to the end of the line there, everybody can quickly introduce themselves, tell you just briefly what they did on the movie.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Shell, I'm one of the producers.
Sarah Steele, I did a little bit of everything.
I'm Kelly Spiller, I was in charge of props.
Brian Ebenauer.
Taylor Venue, I was head of hair and I also did special effects makeup.
She's responsible for all the gore that you see.
Sean Kaufman, I played Reg White, a reporter.
Reginald White, a big name.
I'm Jen, I kept the bitches in line.
Mike Carrier, driver.
He's the producer. Sarah Booth, Corey Peters.
Gavin Booth, writer, director.
Reese Trudell, producer.
Hi, I'm Ivana. Caitlin.
Necessary boob shot.
Tegan Biggs, your lovely little liar, Shelby Hickman.
Brad Everett, I played the douchebag Brandon.
You look very good in pink.
It's my color.
Hey, I'm Danny Barker and I play Emily Lewis with the first big jump.
I'm surprised you're not wearing your
Yeah, I'm Jonathan Dembski. We played slasher film Comic Relief with Alex Harouche. The other douchebags.
These two, by the way, are in a lot of big famous movies and a show called Degrassi and all these wonderful things, and they were kind enough to take time out of their schedule to come to Windsor just to deliver a few lines, but they wanted to be in a horror movie so bad, so, hey, shut up, bitch!
They're much nicer in person sometimes.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I play Carla.
Tanya is home talent here from Windsor. Seen in many projects all over.
Hi, I'm Carly Nakimo and I'm the key makeup artist and also special effects.
Yeah. So Carly's in charge of the other half of the gore team here that makes everybody walk out of theaters.
How you guys doing? I'm Sid Panya and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. Fantastic movie. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for these guys. Very well.
I'm Martin Howard.
Yeah, you're right.
Personal assistant. So I think we're going to have Sid, if you can help us out. If people have questions, you want to pass the mic. Everybody has questions we can't hear. So let's open the floor. Who's got the first question?
Break
Oh, let's not all be so shy, people.
All right, who's next? All right.
So just got a little question. Just wondering how did you came up with the story?
Cut you in front of you.
There's a haunted house here in Windsor called the Scarehouse Windsor that a gentleman named Sean Lippert and Dario Savaji run. About 4 years ago, I walked through there in the daytime to kind of see how it's set up, and I just thought, there's very little people that run this. There's all these trap doors and pulleys and things that make this place run. When you're going through in the dark, it's pretty terrifying. You don't know where you're going. And I kind of said, well, what if somebody like punches one of your workers? You must get idiots in here all the time. He said, yeah, but you don't want to mess with us because then we'll just change a wall and you'll never get out of here, or we'll trip you later on in the haunted house. I just kind of thought that would be a very good setting, a very isolated, claustrophobic setting if you wanted to have some sort of vindictive revenge on people. And I wrote the film with Sarah, who plays Corey, one of the leads in it, my wife. I think she's great in the movie. So when it became about sorority girls and all of this thing, I relied on her ability as a female who survived high school and college and all the bullying and intricacies of how women, play against each other and they're a caddy and whatnot to help develop all that. And most of the really gory kill scenes are her idea. She is twisted, yeah. I thought about filing for divorce after we wrote it, but it hasn't come through yet.
I would kill you.
My life is the Scarehouse. Questions? Anyone? No one? Someone has a question. Summer has a question. Yeah.
I'm just curious, how long did it take to film this one?
We filmed it for about 22 days, back in last year from August 15th till about September 9th. So it was a couple weeks. And then actually we actually had all the actresses come back to Windsor, and we did one more shoot. We brought them back like March 3rd of this year to do one extra scenes with all the party and the kitchen and the flashbacks and everything like that. So technically about 22, 23 days. It wasn't very long, no.
So for the ladies on set, did any of the props at all freak you guys out?
The dildo. That was the best prop. And the stirrups. Anything else?
They were all really terrifying. There's actually a mannequin that moves its eyes that's in the film very briefly, and it's also currently at the actual Scarehouse, along with the bathtub and a bunch of other things.
We tricked the cast of the movie earlier. We said they were going to a press conference to have some champagne, and we took them to the Scarehouse Windsor Haunted House and forced them all to go through. We brought a night vision camera with us, and we're going to post that on the YouTube to see how the cast of the Scarehouse can handle a real haunted house.
The answer is really not well.
Tegan's real happy about it. She's still really happy.
Anything else terrifying on set, ladies, that you want to address?
Yeah, the machine that I was attached to actually worked. So it was actually pulling the ropes in on probably the last takes of it. And I had thoughts that I wasn't coming out. I didn't know. I questioned it for a little bit. So it was actually I was real fear for some of that.
Questions? Anybody?
How did you come to land the partnership with Universal Studios?
The question was, how do we end up working with Universal Studios on this movie? It's not often that Canadian films even find distribution outside of Canada. Mike and I were fortunate enough to have a relationship with a company called D Films here in Canada that had a relationship with America. And when we pitched them this idea, they said, this is more an American movie than a Canadian movie. There's a very sad state that a lot of Canadians don't watch Canadian movies. And before we even shot the movie or wrote the script, they pitched the concept to Universal, and they got on at the very ground floor. So we're very gracious to have this film coming out. I mean, the fact that all my favorite movies growing up, Jurassic Park, Jaws, all of these movies came out through Universal, and now we're in some small, tiny way wedged into that family is pretty thrilling. But we're hoping it's not the last thing made in Windsor that gets to have such a wide release. Any other questions, or is everybody just thinking the same collective question? Oh, we have one here. Sid, if you could.
She's a troublemaker.
When you start shooting Scarehouse too.
Did anyone guess the ending, or did that take you by surprise? So what do you think? Corey goes to work in another haunted house and starts something up. Corey becomes an astronaut. We build a Scarehouse on the moon. It's about all boys. We do like The Purge, do a different sequel. We're talking about a sequel. We don't know what the exact concept would be, but there's some plans. Maybe we can do it like Saw and do one a year for the next 7 years. I'm here promoting Scarehouse 7. It's really inspired. It's very original. I can't even. Any other questions, or I'll just think of when do we get to start drinking?
Aside from like being a part of Windsor, what like in terms of like tactical ability, what made you want to film in Windsor? What made Windsor better than you?
I mean the support, like what you see tonight. There's so many people here that lent gear, donated catering. You know, Reese and Amanda Gelman that have the building that we filmed inside of, being able to go into this old building downtown Windsor, just sort of take over and turn it into a studio. I don't know this experience anywhere else. I also don't really know how to make movies or music videos anywhere else because I've been doing it here for so long. And you know, Windsor's 2 degrees of separation. Every time I make a project here, I get to essentially work with a group of my very close friends. So people always go like, "Oh, what you do for work is awesome." Like, I don't work. I go play all day long. And there's just so much talent, like Sarah Steele here. If everybody's, no, she's gone now, but there she is. If you don't know Sarah Steele, incredible artist in town. So she built our sorority display set, has helped out on countless music videos. You know, Brian can scale anything and has about 110 different skills, so we put him anywhere we can. You know, the fact that we have such wonderful makeup artists that live here, there's no reason to go to the big city and pay big city prices, and we can try to save a little bit of money and involve the people that we love working with and have grown up working with. You know, I grew up in Amherstburg and started making movies in high school with my friends, and it's basically just exactly the same thing. They just give me a little bit more money and a little bit more of an audience to watch the films. Questions? Any other questions?
Do you think that this film will be a big throwback to the way that slasher movies were in the 80s?
I don't even know. People keep asking me to classify this movie. I'm like, it's a horror. Well, no, it's a thriller. It's kind of, I don't know. I kind of say, we say Mean Girls meets Saw meets Dexter, because you're watching from the perspective of the killers. But I think there's enough witty humor in there that's not exactly a horror movie. And I grew up watching the 80s horror movies. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street was my favorite. Probably still is my favorite horror movie. Halloween, everything like that. So we just wanted to try to do something that was a little different, that wasn't exactly the same old thing that you've seen, have enough twists and turns, and really give it that female perspective, which I think doesn't happen enough. I know that when we were auditioning the films, I think most of you had said to us at some point, like, there's rarely any roles with this many women in one film for young actors. It's just kind of, it's always the pretty girl, the prom queen, the leading romantic interest. So getting to actually flex some muscle and fight scenes and things. I mean, some of these girls can kick some real ass. All these stunts are done by the performers up here. There were lots of bruises. And, you know. That's a good one, Sarah. Sarah's going to tell you a story about how she accidentally stabbed somebody on set and what the result was.
Yeah, the scene after the electrocution where Jen takes off and I stab her in the back and then she knees me in the face. That really happened. So I missed the guard on her back, and like there wasn't a knife, like there wasn't a blade on the knife, but it could still cut you. So I actually stabbed her in the back, and then she was in so much pain that she kneed me in the face. But that is the take that we used because it was awesome. Stuff happens on set.
Other questions? Who wants ribs tonight at Boston Pizza after that scene? Yeah. Did we shoot multiple endings? No, that is the one and only ending. It was always the Corey double cross. Oh. We had an option where the gentleman who falls down the stairs may or may not have lived. We exited that. We're trying to think of as many sequel possibilities, but originally when they hung themselves, it went straight to Sarah falling to the ground. But when we had the opportunity to go back and shoot new scenes with the flashbacks, we thought, well, what if we just let people think that, did everybody think that when they hung themselves, that was it, the movie was going to be over? So we thought, well, why don't we just throw one more flashback in and then bring in the surprise ending? So didn't shoot alternative endings, but figured out a way in editing just to suspend it for an extra minute or so before you get what's happening and sort of the double cross at the end.
Gavin, did you have to trim anything for the MPAA?
It's funny, we've been waiting on the rating for this film until 2 days ago. And you wouldn't believe how, they say Canada is a diverse nation. Well, we're 14A in British Columbia, we're R in Alberta, we are 13 in Quebec, of course. And, and we are 18A here in Ontario for brutal violence, gory scenes, and coarse language. We don't know yet, but we'll find out. I wanted an unrated cut. No, they didn't tell, Telefilm's a Canadian grant body that gives money to films. They're involved in this, our distributors. They didn't say anything about it. Actually, our Canadian distributor was like, put more in, put more in, put more in. I was like, we don't have any more, that's all we shot, Yeah, we need more money to do. And I actually feared that on set, which I'm coming to learn I'm actually twisted, because I was like, the gore's not enough, the gore's not enough, the gore's not enough. And when I hear people's reactions to watching the movie, like, it's good. You could have stopped 5 minutes ago. I'm just going to tell one more quick story because I think he's a genius and he's here tonight. I don't know why he's not up here. This gentleman here named Adrian Ellis, who's our composer, who did all the symphonic music in the score. Adrian's vision for this score was huge, and he had an opportunity to go to Prague and record with a string section and an orchestra, and he was recording the theme song for a new Canadian sports league that I won't name right away. But he managed to befriend, his friend that was doing the conducting and the orchestra, said, listen, I have this independent movie I happen to have all of this sheet music here for all the different sections, and managed to get them on our tiny, nothing budget to do a full string section symphonic recording for the score. So when the end scene where Corey's escaping and it comes in with the sweeping strings, that's all recorded live in Prague, because the man is a genius. But beyond that, he came to Scarehouse while we were filming and recorded a bunch of organic sounds. So there's Sarah and the other lead actress, Kim, screaming, and when you hear kind of a kiddie haunting vocal choir, it's them in an old swimming pool in the building that we shot in, recording vocals, or he banged chains around. Anything we use in the movie, the bathtub, he would drum on the bathtub, on the empty bathtub in this hollow room, and he made the whole score out of these pieces as well as everything else. So there couldn't be a more fitting score for the film, since it's all elements that made the film. So Adrian, wherever you are hiding, you are a genius. Put your hand up so people can hug you. All right, that's it for questions, I think. If you have any other questions, come talk to us at Boston Pizza if you're coming to the party. So, again, thank you for so much support. This has been awesome, and this is actually, if you want to see it again or you have friends that want to see it, it starts October 10th for a full run here at Lakeshore Cinema. So please tell everybody to come see the movie so we get to make Scarehouse 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In space.
TMZ wants an interview. Where are you going to be tomorrow? TMZ would like to interview you.
I'll be around Windsor. Just text me.
Okay, I'll text you.
Anytime afternoon.
Congratulations. Great, okay.
Do you like it? Yeah?